Hello, children! Welcome back to our Bible series where we talk about normal people who did great things for God. Today we are talking about Abraham, who is considered the father of faith. Let's see what he did and how God was with him in all his life. Many years ago, there lived a faithful man whose name was Abraham. He lived in a tent with his wife Sarah. Both of them loved the Lord. And Abraham was very good friends with God. In fact, God was his best friend. They would talk about all things, just like best friends do. And God would tell Abraham about all of his plans. Now Abraham and Sarah didn't have any children, but they wanted to have children so bad. They prayed to God many times. God knew their thoughts, and one day he spoke to them in a wonderful way. He promised to give them a place to live in a wonderful country, and that they would have many children. In fact, God told Abraham that he would have as many children as the stars. Can you imagine that? God also told Abraham to take his family and move to the country that he would show him. So Abraham and Sarah obeyed God and began their trip toward the beautiful country where God would take them. They had many animals, camels, goats, sheep, donkeys, and even dogs. And they took them all with them. They also took Lot, their nephew, whom they loved like a son. Lot also had lots of animals because he was smart and hardworking. Once they arrived in the promised country, Abraham and Lot each chose the place where they wanted to live. What do you think? Lot chose the best part of the country, without even thinking about his elderly uncle. Abraham allowed Lot to choose whatever part of the country he wanted. Abraham was left with the area that was not so good. Yet Abraham was not upset, because he knew that God will bless him even in the stony places. And so it was. God blessed Abraham with many riches. But Abraham still didn't have children. He and his wife kept praying and praying, asking God for at least one child. But as they grew older, they started thinking that they would never have children, as God had promised. However, God did not forget about Abraham and the promise that he had made him. One day, God sent 3 messengers to Abraham and his wife Sarah to deliver a very important message. They told Abraham that they would have a baby son by the following year. At first, Abraham and Sarah didn't believe them. How could they have children now? They were so old. This couldn't really be true, or could it? But indeed it was, because God always keeps his promises, and Abraham had a baby son by the following year. Abraham and Sarah named their son Isaac, which means laughter, and indeed Isaac brought them much joy. See, children, God always keeps his promises, even when we're discouraged and it doesn't seem like it. He is really a faithful God. Remember that I told you Abraham is considered the father of faith? That is because he had faith in God at all times, and he was best friends with God. He always trusted God, even in the hard times. Remember when God promised Abraham that he would have as many children as the stars? Everyone who believes in Jesus and has faith in him is considered to be a son or a daughter of Abraham, because he also believed in God and had faith in him. And if you also believe in God and have faith in him, you are considered a son or a daughter of Abraham. So indeed, Abraham has a lot of children now. God truly did keep his promise to Abraham. Let's see what we learned today. We learned that God always keeps his promises and that he is a faithful God. We also learned that God can be your best friend. He's always willing to listen to you, and he wants to speak to you. Now, let's say a prayer about today's lesson. Dear Lord, thank you for today's lesson and for teaching me from your word. Help me to always be pleasing to you. I want to be faithful and always trusting in you, like Abraham. Help me to be a child of Abraham, but most importantly, help me to be your child and to be your best friend, just like Abraham was. Thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story and were blessed by it. Don't hesitate to come back tomorrow to find out what happened next. If you like this story, please don't forget to give this video a like and to subscribe to my channel for more amazing stories. Goodbye for now!